Who should you bet on in prime time this week? Welcome, football fans, gridiron gamblers, and every last one of you degenerates. It's Mitch here with my primetime picks and my primetime preview for week 12 of the NFL season. This is the video where I break down and pick Thursday night football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football and give you the advice that you need to win some money watching the primetime games on this week's NFL slate. If that sounds good, Gronk, spike the like button and don't be a jabroni. Subscribe. Do it. It's free, bro. What are you doing? Just subscribe, man. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps me. All right? Let's talk about Thursday night football. Let's talk about the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. It has been official. CJ Stroud is out. So is Jalen Petrie, safety for the Texans. The big news, obviously, CJ Stroud. He did practice today, but I guess it wasn't enough. They didn't deem him to be ready for Thursday. I thought that typically it's like a 1 week thing, concussion. So when I was breaking down the early week slate and I talked about the Texans, I was thinking Stroud would play this game just because on the normal this year, it's been 1 week and then the guy's back. And I kind of thought, oh, it's a big game. It's the Bills. We kind of need this game. It's at home. It's kind of playoff life's on the line. This is another team that could be a wild card team in the AFC. Kind of figured Stroud would be back, but nonetheless, he won't be, and it will be Davis Mills. And I don't think there's like a massive drop-off from CJ Stroud to Davis Mills. What we've seen from Davis Mills so far has been pretty solid. He hasn't turned the ball over too many times outside of an early interception against Jacksonville, and they still came back to win that game. He's been throwing the ball at a high rate in terms of attempts. And he's been successful. He's been accurate. He's been on time. He's been in rhythm. And he has really good rapport with Nico Collins, which is essential. Also, the Texans, as we know, the reason you're backing them is not because of their offense. It's not because of the quarterback. It's rare that that's the case in the NFL today, but it's because of the defense, especially the defense at home. This defense is awesome. This defense is ridiculous. This defense is the best in the league. You think Denver's good, right? Like the Eagles, they're really damn good too. But the Texans defense, they just really have no holes. They're fast. They're physical. They stop the run. They stop the pass. They rush the quarterback. They play man. They play zone. They don't really have any holes. And this is a Bills team that is very susceptible. This is a Bills team that's very flawed. This is a Bills team that still probably has the best player in the league. As much as I love Drake May this year, I feel like Josh still gets the tip of the hat just for the consistency and the overall ability. But, I mean, the run game is really good for the Bills. And you've got to stop the run. You've got to stop James Cook. You've got to be able to play power football up front and get big and physical and be able to match that physicality of the Bills. If you can do that, you can stop the Bills. Because Josh can make some plays. But the Texans, they can match up with these receivers no problem. The Texans are one of the few teams that has the speed and the ferociousness up front that can get a pass rush and actually chase down Josh Allen because they're that fast, right? Josh Allen is not outrunning Danielle Hunter. It's just not happening, okay? Azeez Al-Shaair might get suspended. He'll take the guy's head off, okay? So the Texans are a defense that I just feel like we saw it last year. Like the Texans beat the Bills in Houston last season. Now that was with CJ Stroud, but that was with equally an extremely flawed Houston offense. That I would actually say the Texans offensive line this year is better than last year. I would argue though that their run game isn't the same because Joe Mixon isn't playing. Joe Mixon was awesome for the Texans last year. He was the most consistent element of their offense. But they found more rhythm and consistency in the passing game this year than they had last year. Whether it be with Davis Mills or CJ Stroud, feels like they found a little bit more in the passing game under Nick Caley. Okay? I think this is going to be a close, tight, feisty football game. As long as the Texans do not allow the Bills to run the ball at will. I think this game will come down to the last possession. I think this game will be taking the points with this defense at home in a primetime spot against an elite quarterback where they're going to be up to play this game. And DeMeco Ryans is going to have them just absolutely ready to run through a wall. The other thing I like about the Texans is they're a traditional team. When they get in the field goal range, they kick the football. Like, that's good when you take the dog. Like, I like a team that's going to kick a field goal from 55 because Fairbairn can kick it, and also, like, it gives me some points to pad the point spread. There's a lot of times in this NFL now where you'll take a dog where they'll be getting 9 or they'll be getting 10 or 11, and they go for it and they get stopped early in the game. And it's like, I could have had 3 points. That would have helped my point spread. You know what I'm saying? The Texans are traditional. They're within 10 yards of the touchdown and they'll still kick the field goal because they're like, our defense is so good, let's just keep them in the game. They're going to make a play. They're going to make a strip sack. They're going to create a turnover. They're going to do something to where we can win this game. And I think that's the belief they carry. You know, if I were to lean either way on the total, I would definitely say under. Like, yeah, I have a lot of respect for the Bills, but no Dalton Kincaid very likely in this game. He's yet to practice this week. And Davis Mills is the quarterback of the Texans. And you're looking at who the Bills are playing at wide receiver. Like, Shavers, Mecole Hardman, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir. These are not threatening players whatsoever. So, as long as the Texans hem in Josh Allen and make him basically throw the ball to his receivers against tight coverage, and they slow down James Cook, the game is going to be close. Because when you look at the Bills as well, what is their critical weakness? Stopping the run. What helps a backup quarterback more than anything? The ability to run the ball. If the Texans can run the ball a little bit, they can have good down and distance for Davis Mills. Nico Collins has to be respected and double teamed on third down. If not, he's going to make play after play after play. Jaden Higgins is stepping up. Dalton Schultz is stepping up. Christian Kirk can beat zone coverages. I like how Woody Marks looks out of the backfield. This Texans team, they're going to be fired up for this game, and this is a game that they need. So I don't know if they win the game, but 6 points to me with this defense in a primetime game. I love Josh Allen more than pretty much anybody on the internet or anywhere else. But I think this is asking a lot for him to single-handedly beat the best defense in football at a disadvantage at almost every other position on the field on offense. Shavers is not beating Stingley on a route. It's not happening. You know, and then you're without Kincaid, who is that one guy that might be able to take advantage of a matchup. Dawson Knox isn't quite that level. He can run, but he's not the route runner Kincaid is. James Cook, maybe they run the ball a bit and get some points that way, but I don't think it's going to be extremely consistent. The Texans know they have to stop that. So I'm counting on DeMeco. I'm counting on his defense. I'm counting on the field goals. I'm counting on the short passing game, and I'm counting on the run game of the Texans. And maybe McDermott comes through here with his defense, and early on they're able to shut the run game down. They're able to get some turnovers. They're able to rush Davis Mills and make him uncomfortable. And maybe that does happen. But I don't know. I just feel like the Texans with 6 is one of those teams that I pretty much would take 6 with the Texans against almost any team in the league. Because I just believe in this defense so much. So I like the Texans here, plus 6 on Thursday Night Football. Is there anything I'm missing about this game? Just going over the injury report for the Bills. Mecole Hardman didn't practice, so that kind of does take away some speed. Khalil Shakir hasn't practiced this week, strangely, with a personal thing. I don't know if that's like a family thing or what that is. Curtis Samuel also didn't practice, so they could be down 3 receivers, or at least 2. And they're definitely down Kincaid. Coleman might be back, but that's honestly a negative for the Bills, in my opinion. For the Texans, It's basically only Jalen Petrie and Davis Mills. That's it. Everyone else looks like they're going to be playing. Their kicker's back. So I would go with the under, and I would take the Texans. And I honestly think if you do take the Texans, you might as well take the under. That's kind of the way I feel. If this game does go over, then I don't think the Texans are covering. It's probably, it might be a parlay situation here. Or maybe like a 44.5. You could probably boost it up just a little bit, like 44.5, and then take a 7.5. That's a way you could do it. But I would take the Texans. I think I will be taking the Texans. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But I'm willing to trust the defense and my evaluation of the Bills' offense outside of Josh Allen. Okay. Sunday Night Football. This is probably the toughest one for me that I'm most indecisive on for primetime. Rams are -7. There will be 6.5s early in the week, but I'm pretty sure this is shading towards 7. So I'm giving you the fairest number I can. 49.5 is the total. I like the over the most, I think, in this game. The Rams at 7, it's a lot of points. It is in LA. And the Bills just beat the Bucs at home by double digits. And I like the Bucs in that game because I thought the Bucs would move the ball. I just thought the Bucs defense would play better. But that's not what happened. Now, when I look at the Rams, I know Sean McVay does well against Todd Bowles. I've seen it numerous times. I saw it in the Brady era numerous times where I kind of thought the Bucs were better on paper, but the Rams would completely outcoach the Bucs, especially on that side of the ball, to where like it would be such a disadvantage for Tampa Bay. So I think a lot of this matchup and a lot of this handicap is I can't take the 7 with Tampa because I don't trust Todd Bowles in this game against Sean McVay. I don't. I do think that the Bucs will stop the Rams from running the ball, which will create imbalance for the offense. But I do believe that Stafford, Adams, and Puka are going to rip up the Bucs in the pass game. Off of play action, heavy tight end formations, screen passes. McVay has a great feel for Todd Bowles. When he's going to blitz, where he's going to blitz, how he's going to blitz. I've seen it too many times. And Stafford's so good against the blitz. And that's been crippling for Todd Bowles in these matchups. So I can't trust the spread here because to me it's too many points for the Rams to cover a full touchdown against a good team with a really good run defense, with a pretty damn good offense. Bucky Irving could be back, but I think this is an over all day. I think this is over 49.5 because I don't think the Rams defense is as good as people think. I think they do have a really good pass rush, and I think at times they can dominate a game because of that. But Baker is fearless under a pass rush. The Bucs have balance on pass and run. Sean Tucker went crazy against the Bills. I think Bucky will be back for their screen game and their run game. Rashad White can get it done. I don't think anyone on the Rams can cover Emeka Egbuka. I'd expect like 15 targets in this game. Cade Otton is going to eat underneath the defense in zone coverages. And the Rams just play a lot of soft zone like the Bills do. And I think that doesn't really take advantage of the Bucs' weaknesses at receiver. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. They have a lack of ability to separate. And that really hurt them against a team like Detroit, who play an egregious amount of man coverage. But against a team like Buffalo or against a team like the Rams that play a lot of zone, I think Baker is smart enough and accurate enough to just take those throws when he needs it. And I think they can score over 20. And I think the Rams can score near 30. So I think this is going to be an over. At 49.5, which is under 50, which means like 30 to 20 would cover this, I think this is an over, 100%. So over would be the play for me on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football, we've got the 49ers and the Panthers at 47.5, and the Niners are favored by 6.5, 7. Now, I think it's shading towards 6.5, which is why I put 6.5 in the graphic. I also would bet the Niners minus 6.5. That wouldn't just be my pick. I think I would bet it. I do like the Niners a lot in a teaser. If it's 7, 7's a little tougher to bet. I would say that I would find a way to bet the Niners, whether that would be in a teaser whether that be like a half final type deal. I would take San Francisco. I think they're going to win this game. I think that the 49ers at home are always tough in prime time. Second, I respect Canales, but this coaching mismatch is pretty humongous for Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh. Brock Purdy is back, so there is a bit of a unknown about the Niners offense. They looked ridiculously good against the Cardinals on offense. George Kittle's healthy. Juwan Jennings is healthy. Ricky Pearsall's healthy. Christian McCaffrey's healthy. The O-line, the one weakness of the Niners sometimes is their O-line. The Panthers have the worst pass rush in the league. I don't know how they get off the field. I honestly, Derek Brown is going to have the game of his life because I think Purdy is going to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think the Niners are going to move the ball through the air at will. So I would lean over, and I would also lean Niners. Defensively, it's hard for me to trust San Francisco laying such a big number because they're not good on defense without Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. But Robert Saleh with the home crowd is an advantage against a rather limited Panther offense. Bryce played the game of his life last week. Is he going to do it twice in a row? I'm not sure. Maybe. I do think that the Panthers can protect Bryce in this game, and I do think that McMillan is a stud, and Leggett had some big plays last week, but this has been a run-heavy team, and the Niners, if anything, can still stop the run pretty well. It's just that they struggle against the pass because they have no pass rush. So I think the Niners will get enough stops through their coaching, and I like Lenore. I like Lenore and Green. I think they can do well enough against McMillan. I feel like they can stop the Panthers a couple more times than the Panthers stop the Niners. Simplicity, right? So this should be like a 34-21 type game. That's how I feel it is. Maybe I'm not giving the Panthers enough credit here, but I would lean over for sure. And I also, I even see the total is at 49 now, so excuse this graphic. I see the total live here is at 49. So I would take the over. But then the spread, I would lean San Francisco. I would find a way to bet San Francisco, but more than likely money line it in a parlay, tease it, which would be probably the preferred option. I even think you could tease San Fran and the Rams together. That wouldn't be bad. I think you could tease San Fran with the Patriots. And then maybe another team that you like. The Colts or something. I think there are ways to play them. But I definitely feel like I will be on the Niners in one way, shape, or form. So, am I missing anything analysis-wise in this game? Trying to think. I feel like let's just check the injury report just to be certain about anything. But the 49ers are actually pretty healthy, which I feel like they obviously don't have Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, but the last week or so they've gotten a lot healthier. I don't even know if an injury report will be out for them today because they play on Monday. So I'm not sure. They will have a different kicker. That is something. Pinheiro got hurt. So that is something to look at. Rams injury report. I'll look at that. Just I don't think they had any injuries. I'm just going to check. But I don't think so. And the Bucs move is Bucky Irving could be back. I don't think Chris Godwin, but I think Bucky Irving. So, there's not a lot of information on a Tuesday. But that's all I got for this video, guys. So the picks are San Francisco on the spread, especially at 6.5, over 49. The Rams, I would lean Rams to win. Not sure about the cover. Total 49.5. I would take it over. That's my favorite pick in that game. Thursday, under 43.5. Texans -6. plus 6, sorry. Texans plus 6, under 43.5. But maybe you could parlay them together like under 44.5, Texans plus 7.5. That might be a better way to play it. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. It's Mitch. Gronk, spike the like button. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.